Welcome everybody, thank you guys for tuning in today. We're gonna be going on a fun adventure down to Fox Racing HQ in Irvine, California to learn a little bit more about these new Union mountain bike shoes. That's right, Fox is now ready to equip their riders from head to toe, and we're gonna meet with some of those riders from the Santa Cruz Syndicate and go for a ride on the famous San Juan Trail. So let's go for a ride.
Lovely and dry.
So as we said, Fox is now going to be offering 3 models of their Union shoe. There will be a flat pedal option, there will be a clipless option with a lace and Velcro, as well as another clipless option that has a dual-BOA closure system. We opted for the lace and Velcro. That's kind of my preferred go-to. We'll get into first impressions after we hear a little bit more from some of the developers, engineers, and of course, go for a ride with the Santa Cruz Syndicate guys in some pretty awesome conditions, as you'll soon see.
All right, so here is our new Union footwear line. Product that's been quite literally 2 years in the making. So we're really excited about that. Kind of the reason we wanted to start doing this was one of our top search hits on our website is for footwear. So we knew people were asking for it, and quite frankly, we were all getting tired of seeing our athletes in other competitors' shoes. So being able to tell a true head-to-toe story and the fact that we're being asked for this product was something like, all right, let's start looking into it. Let's make sure we're kind of doing what we're doing. So now in front of us here, you have our new Union shoes. Union name coming from really every product that we make, trying to get you into that flow state where it's like zero distractions and you have that perfect union between you and your bike. So that's kind of the romancing of the name there.
Okay.
3 different models here. Union BOA on the far right, Union and Union Flat. Our Union BOA and Union, both clipless models, and then the Union Flat, just like the name says, flat. We're offering size 37 to 47 and half sizes between 41.5 to 45.5. So a ton of different sizes. The other reason we went with EU is that it's a smaller difference between the sizes. So like a 43 to a 44 is a smaller amount of length compared to like a 9 to a 10 in US sizing. Right. So taking that plus the half sizes, we feel like you're really gonna be able to get your fit totally dialed in. Next piece of fit here is on the insole. So we have a molded insole that actually has adjustable arch heights as well. Oh, wow. So it'll come with like a low arch height, and then it's just easy Velcro. You pull it out if you have a high arch to make sure, again, you're getting that perfect fit kind of dialed in to kind of whatever you need, making sure you have the right amount of volume on the inside of the shoe as well. So that's kind of the piece for that. Across all 3 of the shoes, we're using a fully mesh upper, but with a TPU skin. So the mesh will keep it nice and lightweight. The TPU skin is on here for a couple reasons. One is it'll hold its shape and it'll hold its fit really well. So there will be a small break-in period, but once you have it, it's not gonna deteriorate over time. Next one is weather resistance. With that full skin on there, you're gonna have great weather, water resistance.
How are your shoes?
Lovely and dry.
How about your feet?
Waterproof.
Do they feel fresh?
Feel happy.
Any secrets to drying out wet shoes quickly?
Yeah, I'm from England, so I just put them outside in the sun, leave them to dry all the time.
We want to come in with something that's on par or better than everything out there. We don't want to just put a product in the market just to put it in the market. We're entering a new category. We want to be like, we want to have the right product. So back to that point of earlier, we could have had these shoes in market a lot sooner. All the way from the top, our CEO was like, if the product's not ready, no, go back, shelf it, eat the costs. We rebuilt all the tooling. We worked a lot on the midsole flex. We worked a lot on just the pedal grip and feel, specifically on the flat. There's a big competitor in the flat pedal category, and we know like that's what we're going after, and they make a great shoe. So we wanted to make sure we were on par or better than that shoe.
On the Union BOA, obviously using our BOA dial, 2 BOA dials on here in our partnership of working with BOA. We're really excited. We've worked a lot with them on the helmet side, bringing that relationship over to the footwear side. They were pretty adamant that we went with 2 BOA dials, and the reason for that is just the extra amount of fit that you can get, or that dial in, how you can dial in the fit even more. So I personally have a wide foot. I love the fact that I can keep the top or the bottom dial a little bit looser so that I have more room in my forefoot. but still can totally crank down the top to make sure that that collar is totally locked in. You don't get heel slip on the back of it as well. So really excited about that. As we move from the Union BOA to your Union, major difference here is obviously you don't have the boas. So for anyone that just wants that more traditional lace with strap look feel, we have that option for them as well. Last one, our Union flat. So like I mentioned before, a different rubber compound. So this is just a butyl and rubber mixed together, similar to some of our other competitors out there. You can see borrowing that same hexagon shape that we had on the other ones, but a little bit tighter where you're gonna get most of your pin engagement where your forefoot is usually sitting on the pedals. A little bit wider here for the push off, and then again, you have your braking bumps on the bottom. So really focused in here on grip and durability. And then one of the things that we spent extra attention on was the tear strength of the rubber. So a lot of times people think about, like, as you're interacting with your pedal, either just forward and back or just up and down, but thinking about when your foot is moving side to side, making sure that you're not tearing off those lugs and losing your grip that way. So adding some additional grip and additional tear strength to that as well.
So folks, there you have it. A really fun day all around. What do I think of the shoes? Obviously, so far I've only had one ride. It was a pretty long ride and one that had lots of interesting conditions, you could say. Here's some standout features to me so far though. I like the fact that Fox ships the shoes with an extra set of insole support. So if you've got a high or low arch, you can really easily pull this out, unvelcro that, and put in a different arch support. I also enjoyed the comfort. For me, you know, I felt like I'm kind of like right between a 44.5 and a 44, roughly a 10 or 10.5 size shoe. I found that I went down to the 44, and that fit me very, very well. Fox is going to be offering a lot of incremental sizes. If you go with that metric system, it gives a lot more refinements in terms of finding the right shoe for you. It was easy to pull the laces tight. You know, some shoes are kind of hard to get them to the right snugness that you want. I thought they were nice and easy. Of course, over time with more mud and grit and dust, laces do get a little harder to pull, but we went through mud, snow, ice, puddles, you name it, and these shoes were just as easy to unlace and then relace again for another ride. So something else that I found interesting was that for the amount of water and cold temperatures that we were in, my feet weren't cold, and you know, and they didn't really get all that wet either. There is a little bit of perforation up here on the top, but I really found that it didn't let that much water in, which was pretty surprising. You know, like that was a full-on winter condition ride, and these shoes did a really good job of keeping my feet warm and not letting them get too wet. Also, there was a moment where I was trying to go a little over my head and keep up with you know, Jackson, Lori, and Petey up at the front, and Petey went a little wide and smacked a rock in this big rut. The San Juan Trail is full of man-eating ruts, and I got a little discombobulated watching his bike get kicked out and sparks flying off of this pedal. And I ended up going into a pretty nasty rut that was like that deep and only about this wide. And I thought I was going down, and I ended up smacking into the side of that rut with the outside of my shoe right here. And I didn't even really feel it. Like, I felt some pressure that I had hit the rut, but like my foot stayed on the pedal, I was clipped in. And aside from just like seeing a mark of like fresh mud and dirt at the top of the trail on like an otherwise new pair of shoes, like they didn't flinch at all. It was a pretty robust, durable shoe. Like if I'm pressing on the side of this shoe, it's not flinching, and that was really cool. I think the stiffness is pretty impressive. Like, you know, we did quite a bit of hike-a-biking. I didn't get a lot of heel slip, which sometimes with a really stiff shoe you will get that. So, you know, ensuring the right size and fitment is definitely important to do that, because if you have a stiff shoe that's too big, it will slip. But yeah, very, very stiff, but not overly stiff or abusive, right? Like my feet weren't really getting tired or fatigued. but good power transfer, very robust. Like the toe cap, you know, I have a toe that is permanently bent from hitting a rock at high speeds, and this shoe here will take those hits no problem and keep you going down the trail. So overall, I'm very impressed. We will be getting a set of the flat shoes to try out in the future, but so far I'm really impressed with the shoe. Again, only got like about 2 rides on them so far, so a lot more miles and a lot more testing to make sure the durability and the longevity of the shoe stands up. But so far, I'd say Fox did a great job, and really impressed by these shoes, and we look forward to putting more miles in them. So thank you guys very much. Please ask any questions you have down below. We'd be happy to get back to you. If you could, please hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you back for future videos. Thank you very much, and we'll see you out on the trails.